Hi, my name is Mishio and I come from Belgium. I was born in Japan, but I was raised in Belgium, and I arrived in Koganecho in January. And now I'm participating in this bazaar, and my works are exhibited in Yamamoto Art. So basically I was studying photography in Belgium, and I just graduated last year, last summer. And because I started also experimenting with fabrics and making patchworks. So right now I create patchworks. That's what I do. The two works I presented this time, the first one is inspired by Yamaumba. So this old woman living in the woods, in the mountains, that is known to be this type of kind of monster with white hair that has a huge mouth on its head and that eats people. And what I was interested in that character is that there's actually many versions to the story, and one of them is that she's also the mother of Kintaro, and Kintaro is a really famous story where it's this golden strong boy, and she's actually a little bit mentioned in his story, but very briefly, saying that she raised him in the woods alone because she had to escape her village. And I think it was really interesting, just this image of motherhood and at the same time monster coming together, and also especially single mother. And then the second work I presented was about Yuki Onna, so the snow lady. Again, she's sort of like a vampire type monster that hunts men during snowy nights, and there is another version of the tale also where she was supposed to be moon princess, but that was so very curious about the earth, descended to the earth to see, but then could never go back up, and that's why she kind of sort of transformed into this type of evil spirit. And I think for me it's really interesting, the different versions, variations, and yes. Drawing that creature many times is kind of almost there's, I don't know, the shape and kind of the idea of that creature comes out bit by drawing it. I actually never have a very precise idea of what it's going to look like at the end, so it's more like a feeling that is maybe shaped through drawing. But then when I start actually doing the patchwork and I start sewing things together, the form kind of evolves by itself. So I feel like it has his own life also. And at the end, I don't really have so much control on what it looks like finally. Koganecho, there used to be apparently a kimono shop around here that closed, and then the woman that owned this shop gave the fabrics that are mostly kimono fabrics, very beautiful fabrics, to Koganecho, so that the artists can use. So they're available freely there. I used a lot of those fabrics in my work. They're not the only ones I used. I also used some other fabrics. But most of the fabrics I use are recycled fabric, or fabrics that are just left there. I don't really buy new fabric so much. I think I got just tired of using paper. I wanted more texture. I wanted something to, not just the picture, because it can get a little bit not dry, but a little, it's 2D, right? So I wanted it to have a different form. And that's why I started actually patchworking my pictures together. So patchworking my pictures that were printed on fabric, and then starting this type of patchworks and creating this type of new landscape from different pictures. So I was also working at that time on the concept of identity as in the context of adoption, and so what does it mean, what does transmission mean, what does cultural heritage mean, what does family heritage mean, these types of things. So in the end, patchwork seemed a very good shape for me to appropriate for that project, and then it just kept going.